And a very happy Thursday to you at 12:07 in the West. It's the John Phillips Show. Mr. Randy Wang's in Culver City.
John, I'm really trying my hardest, but I cannot keep up with all of the Gavin Newsom podcasts and podcast appearances. But let's go ahead and preview who's on his show this week. Still sounds like a porno.
Well, just wait till he starts the grunting.
This is Gavin Newsom. And this is Pod Save America's John Favreau and Tommy Vitor.
I don't have to listen to that, do I?
Get that man a lozenge.
He's been doing too much talking and too much bloviating.
What do you think his ultimate goal in life is? Do you think he wants to be president, or do you think he wants his own cable news show?
I think he wants to be president, but I think there is this deep-seated desire that he really enjoys being a broadcaster.
He really does. But here's the thing. If you're going to be a broadcaster for a living, people have to be able to understand you.
He doesn't make the most sense. By the way, fun fact about Gavin wanting to be a broadcaster, he was bragging in hour 2 of this never-ending podcast that I'm listening to him on the Sean Ryan Show about his old show on Current TV that he used to do with Elon Musk.
Oh, you got to be kidding. Just wait till TV Land gets a hold of that. 800-222-5222 is the telephone number, 1-800-222-5222. Well, if you want to get on a fast train in the state of California, you better head to Disneyland and get on Thunder Mountain Railroad, because the bullet train, well, that's a figment of your imagination. And now, according to the federal government, it's going to be defunded.
Sean Duffy, the transportation secretary, posted this video last night on his official social media account. Why do we have to use this stupid music in political ads?
Because these communications departments hire 500 people and they have to justify their existence.
Don't you understand? And by the way, this is under a supercut of people over the years talking about how expensive this train was going to be. This would have been so much more effective without any music, but people can't help themselves, using an old PD term here, gilding the lily.
They need the strings.
The estimated costs that have shot up from $33 billion to $43 billion.
The project is estimated to cost...
I'm sure there's a point to be made here, but I'm just listening to the Succession-style violins.
Oh, yeah. I think it's Gustavo Dudamel.
The project is estimated to cost $68 billion.
That was Dahlin.
A new report shows California's high-speed rail project is costing taxpayers more than $3 million a day.
They also picked the most distracting violin song you could imagine.
I'm kind of into it.
The LA Times reports the budget has grown to $77 billion.
You imagine how many people would click off if we did that under our show the entire time?
Yeah, over a sustained period of time, it may drive you crazy.
Stop overproducing things.
The cost for the project, though, has jumped to nearly $128 billion, much higher than the $33 billion voters approved in 2008.
Now there's an oboe in there, too.
Fun fact, I took a college class, music in film, from a guy who is the most famous oboe player on planet Earth. His name is Nathan Tim.
Oh, wow.
The project is no longer a $33 billion project. The project's years and years behind. The project's wildly over budget. That doesn't mean it's a bad idea, but it is a bad idea not to be truthful about things.
Gavin Newsom is a bad idea, and so is California's high-speed...
Wait, you're not killing the music now when you're about to make your statement?
Got to kill the music so people focus.
Okay, Sean Duffy needs to fire his communications department. This video is horrendous. It's making a very important point, too. But this video is embarrassing.
He comes from the real world, so I'm just surprised it wasn't the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Gavin Newsom is a bad idea, and so is California's high-speed rail boondoggle. It's now projected to cost $135 billion. For that price tag, we could give every single resident of LA and San Francisco almost 200 free flights.
To anywhere?
Well, I think they just take you up for one, enough to get out of state, and they wouldn't even need a return flight.
If that was the deal, they continue to build HSR or they give me 200 plane tickets. I'll take the plane tickets, please.
You know, the Sears catalog used to sell unlimited first-class plane tickets on American Airlines every year.
Oh, wow.
This is the definition of government incompetence and possibly corruption. That's why we're pulling the plug. No more federal funds for this high-speed train to nowhere. President Trump and I won't help Gavin Newsom waste your money.
Good. Cut off the funding.
That would have been so much more effective without the freaking violins.
Well, I think those musicians are working union.
But let's get an update on what exactly is going on here. Here is CBS Sacramento.
To this now, high-speed rail or high-speed fail?
You know, L.A. is market 1 or 2, depending on who you ask. San Francisco is market 5. What do you think Sacramento is?
Top 25, I'd say.
To this now, high-speed rail or high-speed fail as the feds throw California's long-talked-about project way off track tonight. President Trump making good on his promise to pull federal funding.
Did you hear that? It went way off track.
Yeah. He couldn't resist.
Fun fact, Sacramento is market 30.
Okay, I was off by 5.
Now, but to just put the brakes on that project, your reporter Madison Keevy joining us in studio to get us up to speed. Hi, Madison.
Hi, Marley. Hi, Tony. Another twist and turn in what's been a decades-long conversation.
Okay, how many rail puns are we going to have in this?
There's still plenty of time to get more.
Is it going to stop at all? Well, no. This money was intended for construction in the Central Valley and that portion that right now.
And remember, little history lesson, why exactly was this project started in the Central Valley? Because Obama said, we want you to do something about all the asthma in Fresno.
It was an equity issue.
How much asthma has been cleared up by the high-speed rail in the last 15 years?
Not much.
Is the only part of the line where work has actually started. Los Angeles to San Francisco, only still just renderings.
A quick review of the high-speed rail project and how we got here. California voters first approved a nearly $10 billion bond measure in 2008 that was to begin building the rail line connecting Los Angeles and San Francisco. At the time, the high-speed rail project was supposed to be completed by 2020.
Okay, think about that. What voters agreed to was a project that would be fully complete and operational 5 years ago.
And was proposed to cost $33 billion. Fast forward to 2025. The project is decades off schedule. Officials estimate it could cost about $35 billion to finish the first line from Bakersfield to Merced.
Doesn't even really go to Bakersfield. It goes to Wasco.
Yeah, stop saying Bakersfield. It doesn't go into the city limits.
Even if it did, who's going from Bakersfield to Merced?
Just prisoners who are being transferred.
And about $100 billion more to complete the route from LA to San Francisco. Enter President Trump and Governor Newsom going head-to-head on this issue, with the president staying true to his promise, making cuts to this $4 billion of federal funding, dubbing the project a, quote, boondoggle. In a post on Truth Social, the president wrote in part, quote, I am thrilled to announce that I have officially freed you from funding California's disastrously overpriced high-speed train to nowhere. The governor didn't let that go unchecked, with his own post calling the move illegal. Quote, big round of applause for Donald Trump and Secretary Sean Duffy on handing China the future and abandoning the Central Valley. But sorry to disappoint, we're not letting that happen.
And then Gavin's press secretary wrote something much bitchier on that account.
Yeah, what's going on with that account? Because every time I look at Gavin Newsom's Twitter feed, it sounds like some sassy drag queen at brunch.
When Gavin was in the South, he pretty much let his press secretary run that account, and it got extra bitchy. It's even saying words that I don't know if we can say on the radio.
I have no clue who is in charge of that account, but I really do think it's a sassy drag queen.
So now we wait and see. The Trump administration says that they also want to look into other forms of federal funding that are going towards this project and review it. Of course, Governor Newsom and some of the other leaders here on the authority in California say that that's not necessary. And again, that this move is illegal.
And, of course, Gavin Newsom knew this was coming, and in response, he decided to extend cap and trade, which keeps gas prices high in the state of California, for an extra 20 years so he can continue to put $1 billion a year of high gas prices into high-speed rail.
And you can't fully pin cap and trade on the Democrats or Gavin Newsom. The Assembly Republican caucus had multiple members who voted for that, including the then Assembly Republican leader, Chad Mays.
Oh, yeah. Let's see how the Central Valley is responding to high-speed rail. Here is CBS 47 in Fresno.
High-speed rail officials say they really anticipated this announcement, and while they say they have enough money to keep working, they are going to fight back.
Working or building?
No, this is like an FDR New Deal program where you're just paying people to dig ditches and then fill up the holes.
Until somebody says stop, we're going to keep building, and we're building.
That's the message.
What have you built yet?
Yeah. Show me the train, buddy.
That's the message from California High-Speed Rail Authority board member Henry Perea Sr.
How much is he getting paid?
Wait a minute. Henry Perea Sr.?
Yes.
Can you Google that? I think that's a former member of the legislature.
Okay. Henry Perea Sr., High-Speed Rail. Let's see what comes up here. I didn't get anything. I don't think I spelled it right.
Perea, P-A-R-R-E-A.
Oh, I spelled that completely wrong. P-A-R-R-E-A.
I think so.
Okay, here we go. Henry Perea, P-E-R-E-A, board member of the High Speed Rail. He served 23 years in elected service in the heart of the state's Central Valley. He served on the Fresno County Board of Education, the Fresno City Council, and is a member of the Fresno County Board of Supervisors.
Okay. Does he have a child who's a member of the legislature?
Let's see. Well, if they called him senior, then who is exactly Henry Perea Jr.?
Or just type in Perea, California legislature.
Okay, Perea. By the way, you have a computer too.
Yeah, but I don't wear my glasses, so I can't see anything.
Do you wear your glasses when you drive?
I don't.
Here we go. Henry T. Perea is a Chevron lobbyist who was elected to the California State Assembly in 2010.
There you go.
You knew the name was familiar.
I think he's got a daughter that's in the legislature, too.
His father, Henry R. Perea, was a member of the Fresno County Board of Supervisors. So this guy was in the assembly. Daddy is on the high-speed rail board cashing in.
So there you go. It's a political patronage job that for someone that they're taking care of.
That's the message from California High-Speed Rail Authority board member Henry Perea Sr. after the Trump administration announced they're pulling $4 billion in federal funding for California high-speed rail.
The Federal Railroad Administration has given nothing but stellar comments with respect to our compliance with...
Really?
There is no train.
What are you compliant with?
And he's talking about the Biden people, and that guy was so senile, he didn't know what end was up.
With the use of federal dollars up until this point. So, what is it they found different? I think what we all know is political.
President Trump posting on Truth Social on Wednesday saying, in part, I am thrilled to announce that I have officially freed you from funding California's disastrously overpriced high-speed train to nowhere. The official announcement from the Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy cited cost and the delays in building. This all comes after Trump announced in the Oval Office back in February that he wanted a full-scale investigation into the agency.
They made it much shorter, so now it's at little places way away from San Francisco and way away from Los Angeles. No.
That is true.
Yes, and what they're doing is they're spending as much money as humanly possible because they're spending it on their cronies. Look at who's in charge of the high-speed rail.
We're going to start a big investigation on that because I've never seen anything like it.
Perea says they've made lots of progress this year, including starting construction on the railhead.
Again, there is no train. We're really successful. We've received high marks from the federal government. We're doing everything that we're supposed to do ahead of schedule. Again, no train.
It is 5 years after the train was supposed to be fully completed, and just this year they're starting construction on the railhead, and they have yet to lay any track.
And not only do they want money flowing in from the federal government, they want you to congratulate them on an excellent job.
He says this announcement doesn't stop their work, and they plan to fight the Trump administration in court. Meanwhile, Republican Assemblymember David Tongipa says he welcomes the announcement.
It's going to force us to get into the room, have the hard conversations, and say, what can we do to get something done?
Tongipa was with...
Yeah, that's not going to happen, David.
No, it's never going to be built. So let's just stop pretending.
Tongipa was with Secretary Duffy when he visited California earlier this year, following Trump's call for an investigation. He says all Californians will benefit from a closer look at what's being spent to build the tracks.
I actually think it's a little bit ridiculous that at this point now, there is not a locked-in financial plan for high-speed rail. I think this is going to help with that.
Well, if you dig a big enough hole, someone's got to pay you to fill it.
The only way we'd ever get any kind of high-speed rail in the state is if it went from Marin to, I don't know, the French Laundry.
Now, Emily and Eric, as Perea mentioned, he's expecting litigation once again between the state and the federal government. And while Governor Newsom's office did release a statement saying that grants were terminated illegally, we don't have details on what possible litigation could look like just yet. We're live in the studio tonight. Captain Phillips, KC24, local news that matters.
There you go.
God bless Donald Trump and the federal government for cutting off the money to this boondoggle. The train is never going to be completed. You're never going to ride on high-speed rail in California, and it's time to get back to reality. If you'd like to email the show, you can do so at johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. That's johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. And Randy, you're monitoring the mailbag.
Got a couple emails I'd like to read here. First one comes from Jeff in Redondo Beach. What job does Gavin really want? He was disappointed to miss out on that Wheel of Fortune gig when Pat Sajak left. He really wants to be a game show host.
Well, if you just looked at his Twitter account, he sounds more like Rod Roddy than Bob Barker.
But do you remember in 2021 when Gavin Newsom was trying to get everyone to take the vaccine? And he announced that you'd be entered into a drawing, and then he went to the old studios of the Big Spin to give away these $1 million lotteries.
Oh, yeah. I remember that one.
Then he declared COVID was over, and then Ferrer said, no, it's not.
All right, everyone, let's spin the wheel and see what you get, and you win a ventilator.
Eric the mailman writes in at johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com on Gavin Newsom's press secretary account. Hey, Cool John and Hot Randy, I started following Newsom's press account on X, and I'm convinced it's a burner Governor Slickback uses when he's absolutely self-medicating with several glasses of Plum Jack. Only a sociopath gets drunk on his own wine label.
I don't know. I think it's the ghost of Paul Lynn.
Absolutely.
It's this guy that he hired, I don't know how long ago. His name is Izzy Gardone, and he is real sassy.
Are you sure it's him, though, and it's not a team of people?
It could be. That's the only one I know. Like when Gavin Newsom will do a Zoom presser, you hear someone like Eitan Wallace from Fox 40 say, hey, Izzy, thanks for taking our questions today. And Izzy has his own account, and it was Izzy's personal account that was going after Joe Patterson, calling him a bald little man.
Okay, so it's easy to think it could be him. He's one of the suspects. But what happens when you work for a politician is you're supposed to be able to speak in their voice. If you're writing a letter that has their name on it, if you're operating their social media accounts, if you're writing speeches for them, you're not supposed to write in your voice. You're supposed to write in their voice.
Well, Gavin likes to let his people take over his account, and then Gavin's account gets just as sassy as that.
Well, I don't think Gavin's operating any of the accounts.
You don't think Gavin's doing any of this twitting and tweeting?
No.
Izzy Gardone's personal account will repost all the things that he writes on Gavin's account.
So he's real proud of it.
By the way, Izzy Gardone, if you go to his official Twitter account, he has a banner that says, "A gay guy whose job it is to defend Gavin Newsom."
I love how you can tell who's writing it without even knowing. All right. Let's go ahead and get an update on that vice mayor of Cudahy who made a lot of noise, made a lot of news over remarks she made about wanting gang members to join in the protests.
Fighting our turf.
Yes, we haven't heard a lot from Cudahy Vice Mayor Cynthia Gonzalez since she posted this video on her social media account.
I want to know where all the cholos are at.
But this week, she spoke at a Cudahy City Council meeting and addressed the video in question. Are you ready, Johnny?
I'm ready.
Here is a report from NBC4 in Los Angeles.
Tonight, the vice mayor of Cudahy finally responding to comments she made last month that received national attention and criticism. Cynthia Gonzalez made those controversial comments in this now deleted social media video.
I mean, what are they going to do? Do this story and not play some of the video?
Oh, you got to play the video.
Because you guys are all about territory, and this is 18th Street, and this is Florence, and you guys tag everything up, claiming hood, and now...
Claiming hood.
She has a doctorate.
I guess the education doesn't matter. I mean, Imelda Padilla is also supposed to be a very highly educated female politician.
The neighborhood kids, the down-ass kids don't like it.
I think she has a master's degree.
Tag everything up, claiming hood, and now that your hood's being invaded by the biggest gang there is, there ain't a peep out of you.
Now, in that video, Gonzalez appears to call on street gangs to intervene in immigration raids.
Wouldn't say appears. That's exactly what the video is.
And we know this because we've played it about 9,000 times.
Specifically this part.
Fighting our turf.
Doctorate degree.
Longtime educator at LAUSD. Administrator at LAUSD. These are the minds that are teaching, well, not your children, because you got your kids into private school probably.
Or you lie about your address.
That post went viral with the Department of Homeland Security condemning it. The LA Protective League and Union for the LAPD also called for her resignation as vice mayor. And now, 3 weeks later, Gonzalez spoke at tonight's city council meeting, which was streamed online.
I just want to take some time to address the short satirical TikTok video I made.
Satirical?
Oh, yeah. She's a comedy genius in France.
What was she satirizing exactly?
Good question.
I just want to take some time to address the short satirical TikTok video I made recently that drew national headlines and public criticism.
This is just a character I was playing. That's what radio people used to say when they get in trouble for something they say on the air. That's just a character I do on the radio. What are you talking about?
That wasn't me that was speaking. I'm Sherry. That was Lamb Chop.
To be clear, I created this video in my personal time and on my personal page. The message was not about violence. It was about regular people.
It was about gang members.
And it was on her personal account, so that's totally different than the mayor or vice mayor.
The message was not about violence. It was about regular people, us. Martin had joined me in one of these, claiming ownership of our streets in a time of great distress and asking others.
Well, you particularly wanted them to.
Fighting our turf.
That was satire.
And asking others, who I mentioned in my video, in organizing and protesting against the harm and violence being inflicted on our community.
I don't think the word protest was in there one bit.
Nope, and you specifically called out 2 street gangs by name.
Florencia.
I want to apologize to city staff, members of the council.
Wait, if it's just a satirical video that didn't mean anything and you weren't inciting violence, why are you apologizing?
There's no need for an apology.
I want to know where all the cholos are at.
Highly educated.
Doctorate.
I want to apologize to city staff, members of the council, and the community that my video took attention away from the pain our communities are experiencing.
That's a weird kind of apology.
Yeah, it is.
And brought unnecessary attention to our city.
I'm so sorry that so many people started paying attention to Cudahy because of what I said. They might start trying to figure out how much she's making as the vice mayor of Cudahy.
This is your political advisors taking you into a room and saying you have to apologize for this, and you saying, no, I don't want to, and them saying, yes, you have to. No, I don't want to. If you want a political career, you have to. Okay, but I'm not going to like it.
Now, the vice mayor also asserted her right to free speech and says she is committed to using her voice in a more responsible manner moving forward.
Well, she might need to stop drinking then.
Earlier this week, we told you that the city of Oakland is facing a problem. Well, they have more than one problem, but there was one that we spent a lot of time talking about. Let's put it that way. And that centers around people dumping their trash in random places around the city. We have an update for you on that story.
Local residents banded together and volunteered to pick up 21 tons of trash in Oakland.
These aren't trash cans being collected and emptied into a truck. These are 21 tons of trash that are being picked up all around the city, items that were just dumped in random places.
For more, here's ABC 7 in the Bay Area.
Tons of debris taken off the streets of Oakland by those who live and work in the town, but the cleanup is far from over. Look at this time-lapse video. It shows volunteers at work clearing trash with more cleanup days on the calendar. ABC 7 News reporter Jay.
They're going to end up like that one guy that was doing this for years and then gave up because they just keep repopulating.
Yeah, how long do you give it before they wave the white flag?
ABC 7 News reporter J.R. Stone talked to organizers on a mission to clean the streets as the city looks at long-term solutions.
By the way, is there a mayor?
You never hear from Barbara Lee, do you?
Since she became inaugurated, she has yet to hold a press conference, do any interviews, or show anybody that she's actually in charge of the city.
Quite frankly.
The commissioner of Major League Baseball had to sit and think for a moment as to who the mayor of Oakland was.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Not her.
Oakland Bees!
You go to any Bees games lately, Shangy?
Well, she'll have plenty of time to play softball in the yard.
The graffiti here on Wood Street in Oakland may stand out, but look closely, because the garbage from illegal dumping is now nowhere to be seen along this corner. 51 volunteers partnered with the Urban Compassion Project to help clean the area and literally took tons of debris elsewhere.
What we reported was that there were 21 tons. That's what we were able to record. Beyond that, there was a boat.
A boat?
Who just left a boat in a random place?
You know, if you're talking about cars and boats, you can get up to 21 tons pretty quickly.
Hey, Gilligan, pick up your boat.
Who dumped a boat in Oakland? Wood Street is not Lake Merritt.
Are they anticipating a flood?
Beyond that, there was a boat and 37 diesel tires.
Now, those aren't just, big rigs that are breaking down and they say, screw this. I would figure that you'd be able to track where all the tires would be coming from to, I don't know, a tire shop?
Now, if I recall correctly, My family's in the tire business. There's a very specific way that you're supposed to dispose of tires so that you do it in an environmentally friendly way. And I think there are fees that you're supposed to pay too. My guess is in Oakland, there are a lot of people who don't like paying fees. So if you just dump them on the street, then you don't have to pay any fees and you don't have to worry about an environmentally sensitive way of getting rid of them.
You pull up to Wood Street, you pull out the tire and just roll it and see how far it goes.
That we never got weighed.
This time-lapse video.
So it's 21 tons plus the boat and the Teasel tires.
Okay, we have to put them on a scale.
This time-lapse video shows volunteers busy filling up dump trailers last Saturday at 24th and Wood Street. Within blocks of this location are all new housing units. To those that just moved in, cleanup like this is a must.
I want to feel safe. I want to be able to walk outside and be able to walk and be like, okay, well, I can leave my car out here for overnight and not be able to worry about, if there's a dump over here, they're going to be trashing over here by my car. And
yes, there was lots.
She's not asking for much.
But just think, if someone dumps a boat in your neighborhood, you can enjoy your morning coffee on the Lido deck.
Yes, there was lots of cleanup last weekend, but you can see behind me, there is still lots of work to be done here in Oakland. Part of the block where all the debris was cleared is still littered with items. And almost
I think I told you, when I went to that Angel A's games last year, and I rode the BART from San Francisco into Oakland, there was so much trash on the streets, it reminded me of Miami after Hurricane Andrew.
And almost every block nearby is a similar story. City officials I spoke with said there are major enforcement challenges to stop the illegal dumping. It is also very expensive to legally throw things away. Those with the UCP group highlighted what they see as larger problems.
Unfortunately, unless we do something about the fact that there is no housing or mental health resources in the city of Oakland.
Okay, I don't think that's the problem.
No, I don't think you can pin this on the crazy bums. They don't own any boats. And they certainly don't own, 16 diesel truck tires?
We're going to continue to see people homeless, no resources, and with homelessness comes illegal dumping and outside actors because they utilize these areas.
Okay, so what they're saying is, well, when you have a homeless encampment and the city won't clean it up, there are local businesses that realize this is a perfect place to dump all my trash.
Well, if you just dump the boat there, wouldn't the homeless move into the boat?
For that.
For now, more cleanups like this one are scheduled in the coming weeks. J.R. Stone, ABC 7 News.
So there you go. 21 tons of trash picked up that was illegally dumped by volunteers in Oakland, not including 16 diesel tires and a boat.
Maybe Carnival Cruise Lines just dumped the Costa Concordia up there. Or some of their other retired ships, like Section 8 of the Seas.